So I just think that this was him being like, yo, I hear y'all. Like, I hear what's being said about me. Like, I hear what y'all talking about on social media and all of that. I see you.
Pin a chop. You know, this is you and me, we always on the same like wavelength for some reason, but this is a great segue to Jay-Z. He had said a couple months back in his GQ interview, like he wasn't sure if battling should be a part of the culture anymore because of the fans of how serious they take it. Like before, you know, back in the day, like you had to listen to Hot 97, you listen to like whatever radio station, and or you watch like MTV and you get people's opinions that way. But now you got like all kind of motherfuckers like Panda Chop that just share their opinion on their own platform, and you know what I mean? And anybody can say anything, right? You know, but like people are so tribal, like you say, where it's like so serious, right? Where like every single day they talking about it. They're like, what? Drake sucks. What? Kendrick? Yeah. It's just like it gets too serious. People's kids get brought into it. People's families, people's house getting shot up, or their stores getting vandalized, or something like. It's just so much, right? But it was weird hearing Hove say that, because at the same time you're like reminding you like, isn't this the same guy that said, yes, you was kissing my dick when you was kissing that bitch? When he said that to Nas? You know, but then like when you really thought about what he said, I was like, I get it. Okay, like, you know what I mean? But Lupe also recently said that fans are hyping up people so much to get them killed, though. Like, that's the problem, because you see, like, a lot of times you might be in agreement with another rapper that you going back and forth with, but then all of a sudden you get embarrassed and you see in the comments the fan is like saying like, oh, you let him play you a bitch, and yada yada, and it you know, it strikes that insecurity in some of these guys, and it makes you start going harder at the other person, and lines get crossed. It becomes a real problem, man.
It definitely does. As far as Jay-Z, like that's funny. I think that we gotta, because I think we touched on this too, because I think we used Eminem, I think, as the example last time of just allowing people a space to grow. You know what I'm saying? I think now that he's a father, he could look back on some of the things that he said and did, like, man, that was some bullshit. Like, why? Because it's things that I've written where I'll be like, why did I say that? Or why did I do that? Or even moves that I made, that I look back on and be like, that was totally irresponsible. You know what I mean? So I can understand why Jay-Z at this point in his life would say that he don't think it's necessary anymore, which is interesting because then he spit that verse at the
Exactly.
root
That was gonna be my next point.
you know what I'm saying? But however, okay, so I'll let you get to that, but it's like, but I can understand at his age, like, and not saying like, oh, you're old here. What I'm saying is the more you grow, the more you evolve, and you can take a step back and then you realize what's important and what's not important. When he was in his 20s and 30s, he was in the trenches. He was in the thick of it. He wasn't married. He was a single man. He was so deep embedded in the game. That was the most important thing to him. He wanted to be the king. He wanted to be number one. So he was had to take on hard challenges. But then when you grow up, you get married, you have kids, you had a couple different life experiences, and you didn't travel the world, and you realize how sometimes battling and get stuck in that state of mind, it kind of restrains you from being able to grow as a person. It's so much more to life than just this little box called hip hop. You know what I'm saying? And over that little box, you're missing this big ass bubble called the world. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die over something this big, and it's so much more to explore in the world. And so I definitely understand why he would say that at this particular point in time in his life.
Absolutely. And when you know better, you do better.
Know
Right?
better, you do better. Yep.
So, how did you feel when you heard the Jay-Z Roots Picnic freestyle and he was dissing like 15 different people on there?
I thought it was a situation where it's like Jay-Z is human just like the rest of us, and he don't do press a lot. So he knew that all eyes was gonna be on him at this, at the Roots joint. And I feel like, and he probably, and he's even at his height, Jay-Z didn't do like a bunch of interviews. He kind of let things speak through the music, like always. So I just think that this was him being like, yo, I hear y'all, like I hear what's being said about me. Like I hear what y'all talking about on social media and all of that. I see you. And I just think that was him, instead of doing a million interviews about these topics. He just wanted to let everybody know, I hear y'all. This is how I feel about it. peace. I'm going back to doing what I do. You
To
know, I
making
heard,
another Billy.
yeah, I'm about to go get back to the money. But I hear y'all, but I'm gonna go get back to this money. Yeah, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah, you know, say what you want about Jay, but he knows how to make a moment, right? And he made
Yeah,
a
yeah.
moment out of that, which was super dope.